Welcome to Common Man Cocktails. I'm your host, Derek Schomer, and today we're going to do something a little classic. This is another one of my classic, one of my classic recipes. One of my classic, like I made it. This is a dry Manhattan. Not my recipe. This is something that's been around for years and years. And we tried to do, we did the sidecar, so I'm trying to do a couple different classic ones. They tend to be simple, yet kind of complex, if you understand. Like, for instance, Angostura bitters. Those are, I don't even know how to explain it. It's just it kind of has a cola smell to it. You can buy these at any grocery store. You can tell because it's got the funny label that goes way over the size of the bottle. If you're gonna set up a bar, like I know people who are saying, look, I just got out of college, or I just turned 21, I'm looking to really fill out some sort of alcohol so I can make all kinds of drinks. Just buy this, keep it on hand, you never know when you're gonna need it. First time ever, we're going to be doing whiskey. We're going to be doing whiskey again later in the week, so that'll make 2. We've almost got 60 episodes, we've never done whiskey. This is Crown Royal. This specific recipe, the Manhattan, calls for a bourbon or a Canadian whiskey. This is Canadian whiskey. I don't have bourbon. We're going to use a little extra dry vermouth. What's this lemon for? I just cut off a little of this lemon peel so we can make a twist because the dry Manhattan requires a twist. I didn't make it, that's just how it is. Of course, it goes in a frosted cocktail glass. We're going to use a maraschino cherry. If you have them with stems, that's the right way to do it. If you don't, that's fine too. This drink is going to be stirred, not shaken. You've probably heard that before. So we're going to use a bar spoon. Let's see what else. No, I think that pretty much does it. There are some techniques I've seen used because, I haven't been in the industry for millions of years, so I'm just learning from everybody else. So we're going to use just a little vermouth. And the way that I'm going to do the vermouth, now it calls for about an ounce or half an ounce, give or take how dry you want it. This is what I'm going to do. And I've seen this done before. Pour a little vermouth into your glass and roll it around. Just kind of coat the glass a little bit and then pour it out. Just enough to wet the edges. If you do more than that, or you can pour it on yourself, if you do more than that, you get a really, really dry taste. This could be the same for like a standard martini, like a gin martini. So that's a technique you can use. Or if you really like them dry, pour a half an ounce to an ounce in there. So there's our vermouth. And what we're going to do is throw everything else in here. And by everything else, I mean some ice, because it's hot. Just a little more. Got our ice. We're going to do 2 ounces of the Canadian whiskey. Pretty much what the drink is right there. Whiskey. Which makes it so classic. 2 dashes of bitters. This is really supposed to be to taste. 1, 2. If you like this stuff, or you don't know, use a little more. If it's too much, next time do a little less. You've seen this if you go back to our champagne cocktail. We use that. So if you're looking for another way. Now, we can also do our twist. Let's just stir this up first. So what we're going to do is we're going to stir this just to get the bitters in there. Typically, you're going to stir it for about 30 seconds. And in this specific case, it doesn't have to do with the mixing of the drinks per se, like blending them together. It's more to do with getting the ice melted to the right temperature. So usually 30 seconds with a good stir will get the ice melted, which brings the temperature up to what the recipe really, or most recipes call for. I don't remember the exact degrees, but there you go. Now, this doesn't fit on here, so we'll just dump that in there. That way you can present it and people can watch you do it. Then you can strain it. Pretty cool. So we've got this up to the nice cold temperature from the stir. This should be frosted. Pour that in here. Now remember, we have our vermouth all the way down the edges. So you're going to get your dryness without overdoing it. If you're serving it for guests and they ask for extra dry, maybe you just mix it right in. Got our swizzle stick here. We'll do a little twist action. Now, if you don't have one of these and you're like, I don't know where I'm going to get that, what does that look like? Multi-purpose. So let's twist this up. What I'm going to do is wrap it all the way around the swizzle stick. Nice and pretty. Then we're going to tighten it. Specifically because I want to get a lot of the zest. Once you actually peel one of these, you're going to see there's little cells that start to bust open and get shiny along it. So we can just stick that in there like that for, you know, good garnish. Dump that in there. There you go. I don't think that looks too bad for a common man cocktail. Huh? Check it out. Now, if you want to see how I did this, in case you're curious, you got to get a zester. You got to just start digging in and slowly spin around it. Now, the trick here is the zest fires up into the air, something fierce, and it starts just shooting little packets of lemon all over the place, which also makes good additives for a drink. So there you go. That's a tiny little twist there. It's all crazy. So let's try this out. I warn you, I'm not a huge whiskey fan, so I'm really making this for you. This is actually better than the one I made before. What I had done last time is I mixed in an ounce of dry vermouth, and it just had a little too much dryness. This might actually use a couple extra dashes of bitters too. This is actually required for the classicness of the recipe, but realistically what you're getting is the whiskey. If you're into whiskey, you're already in this mode. You're getting the whiskey with a slight bit of dryness from the vermouth in it, a little lemon peel action, and this is really your key ingredients to change it from just drinking straight whiskey. Otherwise, just throw it on the rocks and you're done. So that, my friends, is a dry Manhattan. Smells pretty good. I'm your host, Derek Schomer. We're teaching you how to drink a dry Manhattan.